Brrrah! What's up my people, my name is Spicy and today I have 5 stories coming out of the subreddit IDontWorkHereLady. I want to thank you for helping me reach 2500 subscribers on this channel. As you know, this was my recent goal for this channel and we just reached it. As you can imagine, it is still a new and small channel, but I am confident that we will reach higher highs and take these videos to a whole new level. But I need your help and it is one step at a time that we're going to do so. I will give out the information for the giveaway very shortly, so stay tuned. Congratulations Sarad for the comment of the day. No, I am not stalking your teenage girls for shoplifting. I am a 22-year-old male just getting off work from a big telecommunication company, where we usually wear grey polos with a logo over our name and black everything else. I needed to make a stop at a Target on the way home for a shower bracket. I decided before entering Target to actually think ahead to avoid a misidentity of a store associate, which has happened before at other retail stores. So I zip up the black bomber fleece jacket I was wearing. About 30 seconds after walking in there, I pull up the Target app to make sure I am going to the right aisle. The Target app can locate items for you. Cue this middle-aged lady walking up to me. I will be me and she will be MAL. Hey, just so you know, I know pretty much everyone here. And she does a finger twirl hand gesture. And I shop here all the time. Me not understanding why she is flexing on her Target popularity. And I know it's your job, but my daughters are teenage girls and they said you're following them and is scaring them. Immediately clicking to me, this is a I don't work here lady scenario. No, I don't work, she cuts me off. I know you're third party, she gestures air quotes or whatever, and don't actually work here for Target. No, I don't work here at all. Third, fourth, fifth party, I don't. Well, they just said he was wearing a black hoodie. Yeah, this is not a hoodie and I literally just walked in. Probably someone else they were thinking, well, black jacket, well, where'd they go? She starts looking around 360s while slowly walking away. No apology or anything, and I just carry on. The fact that she pulled out the technically third party line means she's harassed others before and is a frequent I don't work here lady offender. That was a funny way to say this, but yeah, I will not even be surprised if these teens were stuffing their clothes with merch. My favorite part was that when she flexed on you for knowing everyone at Target, but clearly mistook you for a third-party employee anyways. She was 72 plus. I checked her gas cap and it did not turn off the check engine light. I must have a face for radio, or at least one that lends itself to working blue-collar jobs, because when I stumbled across this subreddit, I knew I was home, as these things seem to happen to me all too often. This one is our family favorite. It is 100% true and 100% my own experience. For background, I work in the assisted living field and have a soft spot for older adults. I had a scheduled oil change for 7:30 in the morning at the local car dealership, and my wife was going to pick me up. I stopped asking my mother for rides after junior high school. I finished checking the car in and decided it was a nice day, so I'd wait outside. Up rose what looks like a nicely appointed Buick, and an even more nicely appointed and pleasant someone older than 70 years old. Nope, sorry, I cannot say that word. At least from what I could see from the steering wheel and fingers. She gives a friendly honk and slowly starts getting out of the car while waving. I don't know how everyone over 70 has mastered this skill, but their ability to wave hello, come here, or go away while struggling to maintain both balance and a checkbook amazes me. It must be core AARP curriculum taught by Betty White, similar to the founding retiree opus on combating diabetes, with Oatmeal by Wilford Brimley. Reader's Digest issue number 275, large font ed. She tells me that her check engine light is on, and that it's been on for 2 weeks now and it won't go off, even when she slams the door. I don't judge, I used to blow into the Nintendo cartridge. Now obvious to me, this lady thinks I work here, and obvious to you, you will notice my love for Golden Girls, dinners at 4:30 and hard candy and loud rappers and glass bowls. So obviously, I had to help. Let's see ma'am. The ma'am was showboating at this point. Does your gas cap have to be popped open from the inside? Why yes, it does. I think she discovered a potential new door slamming like technique and I am tempted to blow into said door, but I resist. Let's pop it. I will tighten the gas cap. Sometimes, if you don't turn those things, it can cause a check engine light. We tried. I asked her to start her car and tell me what she saw. The light's still on, Mac. I've been called a lot of things. Mac is new, but the camaraderie was endearing to say the least. Have you checked your tire pressure? And do you have a gauge in your glove box? I already knew the answer, as I told you before, this Buick was well appointed, right? I then proceeded to dutifully check tire pressures. Well, that's not it. All good there. Let's have you pop the hood. Then come around front with me. She pops the hood. I open it. She turns off the car, gets out, and comes around front. At the same time, I see and hear two other things. One, the service doors open and a shop tech comes our way. And two, my wife pulls up in a minivan. Hashtag my wife is the best looking minivan driver ever. The wife and I make eye contact and she shoots me that look that says, I know you're up to something but you haven't been caught yet. Similar to the, you thought the boys about pull my finger. And there we end up. Goddess of carpool. Slayer of sack lunches parked 4 feet away. Me, Carol. Names have been changed to protect Barbara, who is an active redditor. And now, a very confused looking shop tech. All staring under the hood of, again I must say, you knew this was coming, a beautifully well appointed Buick. I turn to her and say, well honestly, this is just what I've seen them do in the movies. I have no idea what I am looking for at under here. I am pretty sure that thing there is an engine, but let's get someone who works here to see if they can tell us what they think. There is only one thing better than the look on her face as it transition from confusion, frustration, realization to getting the joke, and us all beginning to have seizures of laughter together. That would be the shop tech seeing my face when, and this is no joke, he saw me look at him closely to see a man who looked like my eerily similar, slightly more rounded doppelganger who, wait for it, had a Mac name tag patch on his shirt. Wait, this is so wholesome and hilarious. That was well written story and a pretty funny one. So now I understand why she called you Mac. The tech guy was Mac. Well, the shop tech guy. But this was amazing. Thank you, Mac. Harassed at a Best Buy by a mom with anger issues. Now this all took place a couple of years back when Best Buy was a bit more popular, as I have seen it decline in popularity. So anyways, I am at a Best Buy looking for a couple Xbox games for myself since a friend has recently gifted me a $120 gift card for 2 new games. Now it is important to note I was wearing a blue polo shirt, similar to the ones worn by the Best Buy employees. It was just by happenstance, I suppose. Really did not think much of it at the time. Anyways, I am startled by a hand that reached over and grabbed my shirt collar and proceeded to tuck it violently. I whipped my head around to see a larger woman, probably in her mid-40s, with a really pissed off look on her face. She then proceeded to practically yell at me, asking why the games were so expensive. At this point, I was so taken back by her ferocity and how quickly she just sprung up to me that I had not yet processed what was happening. I just managed to get out a weak, "What?" She then said, "Don't act stupid. I said, why are the games so expensive?" At this point, I still had not processed she mistook me for an employee, so I just said it in a rather puzzled tone. "What?" At this point, she was absolutely livid and said, "Why do I have to pay $60 for each game I get for my son? I already bought the console. Why do I have to spend more for the games?" At this point, it all clicked and I understood she had clearly mistaken me for an employee. So I followed up with the most reasonable, "Oh, I don't work here." She looked puzzled for a moment. Then, with no remorse or apology, said, "Then find me someone who does." I sheepishly pointed to the other end of the game section where, lo and behold, there was an actual employee. She immediately stormed in that direction and I went on to make my purchases. After that, I never really shopped at Best Buy again because frankly, that experience just left a really bad taste in my mouth. The stories where someone says something clever and puts the offender in their place are all great, and how I'd like to imagine I will react, but this is probably much closer to what I will actually do. I would be really confused. And I'm pretty sure that you spend the rest of the day thinking of some good comebacks and just regret not saying them before, because you can't really prepare for these moments, they just happen. Anyway, let's get to the next story. Manager fires me because entitled mother said to, even though he knew I did not work there. M for manager, EM for entitled girl, OP is me, K for embarrassed kid, EF for embarrassed father, and W for scared waitress. So I don't usually hang out in the city near where I live, but one fine day I was hanging around the many restaurants and shops, and I like drawing the landscape of the area because it is quite a massive mall that's got like 2 to 3 parts to it. Now I am feeling hungry, like most artistic people are, and I am making my way to Harasses, a great place to get steak from. I am wearing a bright white shirt with a sports logo and number and black leggings and Converse shoes and look nothing like the staff member. Here is how the dialogue goes. OP minding her business and following directly behind the waitress, showing her a table while scribbling in her notepad. Hey, you take her order. We've been waiting here for ages now. OP continues, thinking the entitled mother was talking to the waitress, but her notepad is ripped from her hands and is now ruined. Hey, give me that back. She snatches it back and steps away from her, while the entitled girl is glaring at her. The entitled mother is shocked. How dare you say that to a customer and glare at them? I would have you fired. The embarrassed father to the entitled mother. She doesn't work here. She's not in uniform and I don't think she'd want to now after this. He shakes his head and looks at me with a sorry expression. The entitled mother is not having it. Do not take her side when we have been waiting here for more than 30 minutes. The kid rolls his eyes and slumps in his seat. Here we go again. Fast forward a little because all that was happening was bickering, and the manager showed up with the waitress explaining what happened and the entitled mother butting in saying I should be fired. Then the manager saying OP was not employed at the restaurant and the part that mattered. By the way, this went on for a good solid 30 minutes and the other staff members gave the embarrassed father and the kid something to snack on while the entitled mother was oblivious to them eating. It's either you kick her out of this restaurant and fire her, or I will sue the company for bad service and failing to comply with customers' wishes. The entitled mother huffed in triumph and turned around to see that embarrassed father and kid were eating. She gave them a sour look. The manager turns to me. Can I just do what she says and be over with it? Yeah, I don't care as long as I get food after this. You're fired. The manager turns to the entitled mother and says sorry and walks away with OP in tow. The entitled mother screams, I said to kick her out. Manager turns on his heel and points to the door and looks at the entitled mother. You are hereby banned from the store for disturbing the peace of my company's restaurant and for harassing a customer with false accusation. Please get up and leave or I will call security and the police. Everyone was silent. The manager's words echoed into the room and the only noise you could hear was the pans and the sizzling in the kitchen. The entitled mother grabbed her things and told the embarrassed father and kid to get up and follow her. The entitled father did not follow. No, I'm gonna eat now because I am still hungry. You can walk home. The entitled mother is more shook than ever and just stormed out. The embarrassed father sighed and apologized for the entitled mother's reactions to OP and the manager and everyone that was there. OP said it was okay and that he had nothing to apologize for. The manager gave OP a free meal with a $200 tab limit the next time she came around. That's basically the story. I wrote it in third person. Sorry, it is a habit. The tab is not really a lot, that's like 3 meals because of how expensive the place is. Yeah, I feel bad for the kid and the embarrassed father. They maybe get embarrassed every time they go somewhere. But the manager seems like a nice person and I hope you enjoy your free meal. But that writing in third person, it messed me up real bad. I felt bad when the kid said here we go again because this definitely means this was not the first time. And when she said she would sue the company for bad service and failing to comply with customers' wishes, like, are you out of your mind? I told you, I don't work here anymore. Okay, so I've been working for a little more than a year in a bar and restaurant. Really bad payment as well as my ex-boss, but that's another story to tell. I got fired in April 2018, so I don't work there for over a year now. I still have friends working there, so from time to time I go over to say hello and catch up. My friend was alone except for 2 tables who were already served and 1 client who I still remember from time working there. An older lady, let's call her drunk granny, who always ordered red wine and could finish a whole bottle by herself. I got invited for a beer as our manager was not there and he was finishing his shift. We talked for a while and had a few laughs. A table went to the bar and wanted to pay, so he had to go inside. I was minding my own business and drinking my beer when the drunk granny came up to me. "Hey, how are you doing? Such a long time since I've seen you. How's life?" I proceed to explain to her that I changed jobs and everything's going well, but she interrupts me. Yeah, that's nice. Look, could you go and fetch me a glass of wine? And don't tell your manager. Ma'am, I'm sorry, but I can't. Yeah, I know your manager doesn't let you give me more wine because I forgot to pay last time. And on few different occasions as well. It's not that, drunk granny. I don't work here anymore. I know, but for old time's sake. There are cameras inside, and I can't just go behind the bar or serve you a glass of wine. Nobody will know. Oh, believe me, they will know, especially because my ex-boss watches the videotapes frequently. You know what? I always knew you were a bad guy. You just don't want to serve me because you're drunk and you keep on drinking during your shift, said the lady who already had 5 glasses of wine and it was barely past 1 p.m. After that, she just took her bag and left, and after my friend came out, he told me she did not pay the last wine she ordered. Moral of the story? Don't be nice to your ex-bad clients. She didn't care that you did not work there anymore, she just wanted some wine. Once again, I want to thank you for helping me reach 2,500 subscribers for this channel. It means a lot to me. If you want to help me reach the next subscriber goal channel, which I will give out very shortly, well, subscribe and it helped me already, alright? But if you like these videos, check out my playlist right here for IDontWorkHereLady videos. And make sure you subscribe and hit the bell button to know when we post a new video. Thank you and see you next time.